Have you ever seen a movie where the year is 2050 and there are only a few survivors of a global catastrophe? If you have, you might know that they've been living in a bunker for the last decade, hiding from the ruthless machines that have taken over the world. Well, it's not just a movie anymore, it's a prediction, and that too from Elon Musk. But this isn't the only one. Find out what else he has to say about the world in 2050 in this video. First off, Elon Musk's company, Neuralink, is ready to push the boundaries of science with its brain-machine interfaces. Founded in 2016, their goal is to establish a connection between human brains and computers. Now, the real kicker is that it's not just talk. They're already making progress with the early trials. Here's how. They've conducted experiments on monkeys where they implanted small coin-sized devices into their heads, and these monkeys were actually able to play video games using only their minds. Moreover, by creating these brain-machine interfaces, they hope to bypass damaged parts of the brain and enable proper functioning. Musk is even going as far as saying that these brain implants could cure a wide range of diseases, from obesity to insomnia. He believes this technology has the potential to revolutionize healthcare. He even tweeted recently that Neuralink will even fix tinnitus by the year 2027. Now, it may sound like something out of a fiction movie, but the underlying science behind Neuralink is actually credible. Many neurological conditions occur due to brain damage or other deficiencies that hinder the proper functioning of neurons. Elon Musk also gave a bit of a heads up about AI, saying it might just be the cause of the Third World War. He made this comment in response to something Russian President Vladimir Putin said: "Whoever reaches the top of the AI game will become the ruler of the whole darn world." Elon took to Twitter and said, "China, Russia, soon all countries with strong computer science. Competition for AI superiority at national level, most likely because of World War III IMO, in my opinion." Now, the United States is generally seen as the leader in AI right now. We've got big tech companies like Google and Microsoft pouring loads of money into AI research and development. But a report from Goldman Sachs suggests that China might just have what it takes to catch up to the US in terms of AI capabilities. They think the Chinese government will put AI on top of their priority list and throw some more funding and support its way. Now, Elon Musk has been pretty vocal about his thoughts on AI. In fact, he co-signed a letter with other robotics leaders, including Mustafa Suleyman from Google DeepMind, asking the United Nations to ban those scary killer robots. He even went as far as saying AI might be more of a threat to the world than a nuclear showdown with North Korea. Musk thinks a war started by AI is a real possibility. He replied to one of his Twitter followers saying, "May be initiated not by the country leaders, but one of the AIs if it decides that a preemptive strike is the most probable path to victory." Elon is even questioning North Korea's nuclear weapon capabilities, because his focus seems to be more on the dangers of AI taking matters into its own hands. One of Elon's other eerie predictions is that of the decrease in population. In a recent tweet, he boldly claims that the collapse of our population due to low birth rates is a much bigger threat than global warming. Now, let's get some facts straight. The global population is actually on the rise despite declines in certain regions, so it doesn't look like we're heading towards a population collapse anytime soon. But Elon has been talking about this population bomb for quite a while now. Back in 2017, he shot off a tweet to the people at New Scientist saying that the world's population is hurtling towards collapse, and now he's even given us a timeline. By 2050, he says we'll start seeing the most dire effects of this demographic disaster.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't we have an overpopulation problem?
No, we have an underpopulation problem.
Really?
Yeah. What we face is population collapse.
Huh.
Collapse. Like, people have no idea how fast the population is going to collapse.
In response to a post about global overpopulation, Elon elaborated on his population bomb theory in 2019. He argued that the real problem won't be too many people, but rather the aging population and the growing gap between different age groups. According to him, it'll be like an upside-down pyramid with a bunch of old folks and fewer young ones to support them. While his concerns about population decline may seem a bit off base, it's always interesting to hear what the man has to say. Now, the mastermind behind SpaceX took to Twitter to share that 1,000 starships could potentially transport around 100,000 people per Earth-Mars orbit synchronization. And to achieve this, Musk envisions launching these starships from Earth orbit during a 30-day period when Earth and Mars are most favorably aligned for the journey. Maybe his focus on shifting population from our planet to Mars might indicate that humanity should look for other options to live now. This orbital sync occurs every 26 months, giving a window of opportunity for travel. In response to a Twitter user's question about the possibility of having 1 million people on Mars by 2050, Musk simply replied with a yes. So, it seems he remains optimistic about this ambitious timeline. Of course, to support a human colony on another planet, a massive amount of cargo capacity is needed. Musk pointed out that megatons per year to orbit are needed for life to become multi-planetary. Each Starship, if all goes as planned, would be able to deliver over 100 tons per flight. Doing the math, Musk estimates that with a fleet of 10 ships, they could potentially transport 1 megaton per year to orbit. Once humans reach Mars, there'll be plenty of jobs to be done, according to Musk's vision. While there are no signs of life on the surface of Mars, who knows what we may find if we dig a little deeper. Shifting our focus to the energy crisis, Musk's sounding the alarm bells about a potential electricity crisis in the US. According to him, the demand for electricity is going to triple by 2045.
The demand for electricity will increase dramatically.
Now, you might be wondering, what's causing this surge in electricity demand? Well, it's partially thanks to the rising popularity of electric vehicles. Tesla, as we all know, is leading the charge in the EV game, and other automakers are jumping on the bandwagon too. So, with more and more people plugging in their electric rides, the demand for electricity is set to skyrocket. Elon Musk recently gave a couple of speeches at conferences where he warned that the previous estimates for electricity demand were way off the mark. Those projections only showed a 68% increase by 2024, but Elon thinks it's going to be way higher than that.
Whatever your demand predictions are for electricity, I suspect they are too low. We need a tripling of electrical output. So you can mark my words here, electrical output will triple.
It's no secret that the US power system infrastructure is getting old and creaky, with a big chunk of transmission and distribution lines pushing their 50-year lifespan. Utility companies are gearing up to make the systems greener and sturdier, but it's going to cost them $1.8 trillion on this retooling mission by 2030. But the energy industry can be a bit sluggish when it comes to change. They're caught up in regulations and are wary of increasing prices for consumers. Plus, the growth in electricity demand has been snail-like over the past couple of decades, with a measly 1% increase each year. The projections aren't looking too promising either, with less than 1% annual growth expected between 2020 and 2050. Now, electric companies are paying attention to Elon's predictions. PG&E, for example, expects a 70% increase in demand over the next 20 years, and even the consulting firm McKinsey thinks global electricity demand will triple by 2050. Elon Musk is certainly not one to shy away from bold statements. In February 2017, at the World Government Summit in Dubai, he made another of his attention-grabbing remarks. He thinks that for us humans to really thrive, we need to become a little bit like robots ourselves. He mentioned that one day our brains and computers will be like BFFs. It's all about getting the brain-digital connection super fast and efficient so we can merge our biological smarts with digital intelligence. And that concludes our update on Elon Musk's thoughts and predictions. Feel free to share your thoughts. Until next time, stay curious and see you soon.